we did a little ceremony. Hi, this is Bates, Pastor Bates and Pastor Daniel.
Hey.
She Life Ministries, and welcome here on this 20. What day is this? It's a Saturday night. 29th?
Something like that. No.
Saturday night. It's Saturday night around the 29th.
30th.
30th, I think it is. Yeah, but Daniel's sitting here at the farmhouse in our little holy space, and we just got through with the never-ending moving that's been going on. It just, I've said it before, but I'll say it again really loud. Maybe I said it wrong. Maybe I put the wrong words out to the universe. I'm going to change it. I'm going to say, I'm here to stay for a while.
Okay.
I'm here to stay for a while at both this place and down at the church.
Yeah.
Down at Chi Life Ministries, where we run Chi Farms out there on a regular basis as far as the food ministry. And we're also calling it Chi Life Center. Did we talk about that, or was that only in my head?
I may have been just in your
So
head.
we are a church, but we're also calling ourselves a center because I feel like that's a little more graspable for some people. So we'll multi-market ourselves as a church and a center.
Confuse people even more.
Just confuse them even more.
Yeah.
But I think it's really, we got to reach across these lines of barriers and separation. And, I think all of us kind of know how we got. Sorry, we got a commercial, y'all. Let's do that. But kind of in a weird time in our world history on that level, don't you think, Daniel?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I'd say it's pretty crazy out there. It's times are very interesting these days. Like, I don't know what to expect from one day to the next. I'm waiting for UFOs. I mean, like they do, like there are always like these different things that come on, like all the different themes that have been popping up lately.
Over the years.
So it's like
over the decades.
Like there was a big UFO release recently, but then it just went away. Like there wasn't anything major that came out of that. But I don't know, maybe Sasquatch. I don't know. Maybe we'll get something, fun in the next few months. It's been
here's what fun would be for me. An investor with like $1 billion, and we can have more than
There's
that.
a few of those that just came out of this GameStop situation.
I know,
that's
right?
happening
So
right now.
why don't we all this is the plan, guys? Why don't we buy land? Get somebody to invest in land. And
turn
then the
into
next
a community
thing,
land trust.
Turn to community land trust, and then we make sure all the sustainable infrastructure is built into it. Each of us will hire our comrades, our friends, our people, and we'll build these sustainable infrastructures and pay people to do that through the funds that we raise. Because people have to have jobs, but we know we've got to build this stuff. So how do we do that? Mm-hmm. So we're doing things like Chi Farms. We're doing things, we're just getting everybody that wants to be involved in an alternative economy, one that can, last food shortages in box stores in the stores, because we're doing it together.
Yeah.
And, it's not like we're some weird out there crazy liberals, but we are. But you know what we're doing? We're doing the same thing your grandparents did. Mm-hmm. You're just calling us, we're calling that word liberal, and it's just not true.
Well, so Bates, you're watching it this week. Everything that you just talked about, so we have this idea in our head that everything's going to collapse and change, and there's going to be a meteor or 2012 or zombies or whatever it is, that's going to happen, or the World War whatever. And so we've got it's very popular for there to be preppers right now and all this kind of stuff. And what's interesting, man, what's happening right now is that the Wall Street may collapse, not because of zombies, not because of meteor or anything like that, but because a bunch of nerds decided to game the system, because it's been gaming us for so long.
And I'm telling you, what's coming next with these young people You know,
I'm here
I'm
for it.
59. I'm here to support them.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
looks bizarre to most people, like,
Yeah.
oh, they're not worth anything. You know, all the stupid things that come out of people's mouths. You just don't get where they're coming from because there
They're fed
are a
up with
lot of these young people doing some amazing things that we're hearing about it every day.
They're
And you're talking about
breaking
people that are going to be able
generational
to change.
cycles.
They're breaking the generational cycles like we
Mhm.
all must do.
Mhm.
We got to break that stuff that held us back. But
Yeah.
you know, the world, a lot of people believe, no, I want to hold on to everything. I gotta keep every little piece, every little thing, or I'll lose my life. I won't be worth anything. Or they'll take away my color or non-color or you know those things that we talk about, and nobody's going to take anything
My
away
money
from
and my
you.
privilege
The only-
and all that stuff.
Yeah. So it's interesting. So we stay guided by God's source, love, life, what you call God. That's what we're doing here. We are staying centered. We're providing a place for others to work and come with us on a journey of the light of the Christ within us. Is how I say it. Some people say it. How do other people say it?
I mean, there's all different kind of ways. You know, there's like I like talking about following what feels healthy. So that requires me to go inside and know what feels healthy means to me, and it's like, you know, it takes me being quiet and listening to that same thing that you're listening to. I just have a different way of putting it, you know.
And this is important. We're having an important conversation right here because people get stuck in their ways, having to be right about the way they think God should look. Stop, please. We all find God on our own terms, in our because we're each individual souls here, and we see God. Maybe once we pass that veil and we get to see God, you know, for me, I feel like I've had that blessing. I've gotten to see what I call the face of God. Of course, they say that will blind you in the Bible, but it didn't blind me, and it wasn't actually a face. So, you know, there was a lot of stuff different about my experience, but everything now my experience was almost 25 years ago. But now I was watching something the other day, and over the years, maybe every 5 to 10 years, I would see a movement of what I saw in that vision. That it wasn't a vision; it was a journey my soul took, and I got to see that, and we all will go through that sometime. That could be really interesting because I'm starting to see the symbols that I've been seeing for years. I'm starting to see them now in different pieces of information coming out about spirituality and science and the combination there of all of that, numbers, symbols, the things we process through
energy
on the journey to finding the God within, you know, the Christ within.
And that's what we're all doing. And like you're saying, there's like different language for all that.
It's all different languages.
And
so you can't judge somebody's language.
No, and you can make, like, I like to make fun of the fact that we make fun of each other sometimes.
Now, if somebody's not doing the work, that's different.
Yeah.
If somebody's just lounging around every day watching their TV,
whatever it is.
Whatever.
So that brings us to what we wanted to talk about, which was integrity today. We're talking about our values.
Last week we've done sustainability, we've done
accountability,
and now tonight is integrity.
Integrity, yeah.
And what we're doing, the way we're building this, our articles of faith, basically. If you said, you know, in the church sense, it would be our articles of faith. But these are articles of faith coming that I believe. Daniel, please jump in here anytime. But I believe the words and topics we're talking about are who we are. Therefore, it is becoming us, and we are becoming that. And these words lead us in.
Absolutely.
They are describing the experience we're having to go through in order to make the ascension process, the expansion of the energies and things happen.
So, talking about language. So, I would say the same thing that you're saying. A way that you could say that is
break it down.
I don't like the word filter. I like the word lens. So let's say we have some different colored lenses that help us create a very specific light beam that comes out, and that's we're wanting to create these lenses that we're moving through. We're moving through sustainability. We're moving through accountability. We're moving through integrity, because every step that we make is always coming back to those first principles, those, you know, the
principles that guide us.
Deepest essence of who we are.
And when we begin to find that, it's like a breakthrough as we all start meeting each other and working together again in a new vibration.
And our actions and our behaviors and the way that we speak with each other and the way we treat each other are movements of accountability, movements of sustainability, movements of integrity, movements of, all the different things that we're going to be going through. We kind of, are looking at living our lives through these principles, values-based living, I guess is the secular way of putting that. And that allows us to no longer have to be sitting here going, like, what's the right thing to do? What's the bad thing to do?
Just focus on
because
the value
we're not doing
that is you.
We're just living our values. We're not trying to make decisions on what's right or wrong. We're accepting what's happening in reality.
And this is what I'm talking about when we call doing the work. This is how we do the work, because you hold yourself to these truths to be self-evident. Oh, where'd that come from? But it is the truth to be self-evident. Just speaking the Constitution. But, there are some good words in there.
It's like 2 or 3 of them.
So, right on. I tell you, after...
That's a whole other class that we can go
It's a whole other class, yeah. So, where would we like to go from?
Well, we want to talk about integrity. And what we were just talking about was, like I said, values-based living. So we're no longer trying to follow a rule book. We're no longer trying to check ourselves against a list of do's and do nots. That's not how we live our lives. No, we live our lives as loving beings. We live our lives knowing that everything that we do is being held accountable to. Like, I don't, go and make decisions if I know that making that decision is going to hurt Bates. I just won't do it. Won't set foot in a Chick-fil-A. Won't even do it. Or whatever it is, whatever these things are. Like, actually, I don't go to Chick-fil-A because I don't like their waffle fries. And I think their biscuits are greasy. But that's just me.
That's just one. What?
Just one example.
I didn't even know there was anybody that didn't like Chick-fil-A. But it's nice to meet you.
Plus, they're closed on Sundays, man. That's the day that I usually want breakfast in the morning the most.
Daniel.
But anyway, we're talking about integrity. So, when we, last week when we did this, kind of broke down the word accountability, and I wanted to kind of do the same thing again with integrity, because I like integrity a lot as a word, right? Because
integral.
And that's the thing. So first of all, it comes from the root word integer. So an integer is a whole number. So integer is from the Latin of whole. So integrity doesn't mean, like we were just saying, following a rule book. It means that you are acting from wholeness. So you're not acting from your conditioned beliefs.
The one we grew up with.
We realized it. Yeah. You're not acting from a space of victimhood or even a space of trying to be the savior or trying to act right for other people. You are acting from a space of integrated wholeness. It's like I'm saying the same word over and over again. Yeah. But it's the same thing. You are acting from wholeness. You're authentic.
Because in wholeness and authenticity, and you're just you're not allowed within yourself. And sometimes say, you should not say that word, not allowed. I use it all the time when I'm talking, because inside me, it's just not allowed to do that anymore, to do those things that hold us back, to do those things that control myself or others, to do those things that would in any way affect them in anything but a positive way.
Well, and
or at least a non-anything way.
You and I have a great story about integrity. We do have a great story about integrity. Okay. Because, so we first started having this conversation about you and I have been talking about this word integrity for many years now. And we were living together in Red Bank with a bunch of other people. Yep. We had built those bunk beds underneath in the basement of your house.
Don't you go somewhere you shouldn't.
I'm not going to go nowhere I should not in a public space. So I started sleeping on one of the bunk beds in the basement there, and you you prefer that beds be made in the morning. I am not as much of my tolerance for cleanliness is like it doesn't bother me so much to not have a made bed in the morning. I can actually show you studies where there are less bed bugs in an unmade bed than there are in a made bed. Really? But anyways.
Well, thank you for that, Pastor Daniel.
Pastor of Education.
Pastor of Education. Oh yeah, Pastor of Education.
Educate you about them bed bugs. But no, so we, you and I spoke at first, probably not in the calmest way at first, because we're like brothers, so we can yell at each other and be okay with it after.
I don't like to do it though.
We don't do it that much.
I don't remember the last time we did it.
Years,
I don't remember the last time we ever did it.
But we started having this conversation, and for you, it was very important for things to stay clean in a certain way, and for me, that didn't tug at me the way it tugged at you. But we could have had a fight. We could have tried to prove each other right or wrong. We could have tried to compromise with each other, but we didn't even have to do that. I put up a sheet, like well, it wasn't even a sheet. It was a curtain. I put up a curtain,
and there were curtains over all of them.
It was all the beds,
I mean,
so that everybody had privacy.
This was a little hostel that was the first G house, and at this point, it had become like a hostel. And
but out of that, you had the ability to maintain your own integrity, which was to make your bed in the morning, not try and control me over my bed, and me maintain my own integrity of not caring about it, but then still yet not having to put it in your face.
Yeah, well, that's one thing y'all learn about me. Because I do things a certain way, but I don't care if you do it your way. I mean, just as long as I don't have to look at it.
Not in my house. Not under my roof.
I'm really not to be saying. I mean, I don't think I am. Anyway.
That whole story though is mostly to talk about how neither one of us had to stop acting in integrity as far as our own cleanliness habits were concerned. And your integrity isn't necessarily always going to look like my integrity.
It's not.
But when my integrity, when I'm acting from that place of wholeness, when I'm not acting from a space of trying to control you or trying to defend myself against you or trying to be a victim in a situation or whatever it is that we've been trained to do, but I'm acting from a place of like where I'm in touch with that aspect of who I am, that I can act honestly in that situation and know that I'm acting from love, even though I may be standing my ground. You know what I mean? And I think we all know that. I think we all know where that space is. Like once you've done enough of the work, you can get into that place where you can tell when you're overreacting, or when
something that just happened that just made you go over the, just was like
you get caught up in the thoughts.
Yeah, you get caught up in it. You're like,
yeah,
and because it wasn't your thing. It's something they're experiencing, and they throw it out at you. It's a mirror that they're throwing.
Oh yeah. I mean,
you just happen to be the mirror.
Yeah, you get caught up in it's like an energy hook, and it grabs you, and you get caught up in that cycle with them, and you start, they start an argument, you start defending yourself, and then whoa, hey, where did this come from?
And we know damn better.
Yeah.
We know better.
Yeah, well,
but still we get caught in it, and it happens.
But it's
still happening to me.
Seeing those things, and then being able to pull ourselves out of them, and then knowing the next time that I can act a little bit more from that place of wholeness.
Yeah.
Because that place of wholeness doesn't need to be triggered and go into patterns and do all that stuff in order to act. Because you don't. Here's the thing: is like. And this is where I find emotional responsibility becomes a real big key in this. if you don't know how to stay in the space where you are what is choosing your emotional states, if you're not letting your emotional states be dictated by your circumstances, you are the one that is consistently and constantly staying on top of that and choosing that, then you will always stay in integrity.
Because you're being autonomous.
Mm-hmm.
You've learned then at that point to be autonomous with yourself, and that's what we're all looking for. We're on this journey to find our autonomy, our complete autonomy with body, soul, spirit.
And here's the key that I will tell everybody: you always know when you're in integrity because it feels good.
It does. It feels good. The other way does not feel good, does it?
No, it does not. And the situation may not be a quote unquote pleasant situation, but your action from the space of authenticity, from that space of wholeness, from that space of integrity will feel good. You'll know it's the right thing to do.
Yep, absolutely.
The right thing to do. You know, it's what feels healthy. And it's always there to always let you know. You always know where to move and how to move because it's all your body.
If you go the other direction, you know what that creates.
It feels like stress and anxiety.
Anxiety. I got to control it. I got to be in charge of everything around me. Oh wait, let me spew. That thing.
The fear of death. I'm gonna fail. It's all gonna go crumbling down if I don't control it. That gets all of us, man. I mean, that's our culture. Hits us with that from the time we're born. You got to be, productive and busy and on time.
Wouldn't it be interesting to go back? Oh, let's all take a moment. Why don't we go back? Okay, slowly go back 9 years. Where were you? I mean, 1 year ago, where were you? The year before that? The year before that? We're on the 4th year out now. Go back to the 5th year out. Where were you? 6th year? 7th year? 8th year? 9th year? And your 10th year. Okay, let's just take a moment. As an observer, you're looking where you were 10 years ago. Maybe a relationship, the house you lived in, where you attended your spiritual gatherings for spiritual feeding. And look at where you were then in integrity. And let's take a snapshot of where you are now. Is there much of a difference, or are you pretty much on the same track? Has it changed maybe a bunch of times over the last 10 years? Were you always working toward your integrity from the things you had learned? That it's very important to stay in integrity through all the lessons that have been put before you? To me, it is. It's like, wow. Always searching. And I remember, for me personally, it was about the year 2000 that integrity became the next big lesson in my life. Because before that, I had been taught man's world. You do whatever it takes to get to the top of that corporation or whatever you do. I was just trained so, especially if you're my age or, around there, you were trained to do that. And then at some point you got to break that cycle. And that's what we're all doing it together. It's not a need. Yeah. I'm just telling you my experience, but at the same time I'm having my experience. You knew exactly what I was talking about. Yeah. In your own world, right? Yeah. You knew that you're either on a path to integrity or you're not on a path to integrity. Yeah. And the what I call miracles, the manifestations that occur when you're going on that journey of the light as compared to going out of integrity down that road. Who would want to ever do that? It's so painful. It's so ugly. Oh, yeah, but man. The problem is when you go into that, you become that. So you forget what's on this other side, and you keep going toward that direction.
Some of us have to hit
being out of integrity. Bottom. And sometimes you got to hit rock bottom in integrity to even start to turn around. Yeah. because it's deceptive. Some people would call it demons entering the body from the indigenous people.
Yeah.
That's when the demons, if you want to call, they're dark energy spirits. I know what they look like.
I had to go through a literal Job experience in my life to move from that place where I was doing everything but living integrity. I mean, I was like, my whole life just,
I remember it
was totally out of integrity, and then had to go through, since, about 10 years ago now, 2011, 2010, started, when all that shit started, and lost my house, lost my wife, lost my kids, job, all these things, just gone. And it took that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It took that for me to start, okay, I've got to stop trusting all this other stuff.
That's right.
Because
you got to learn to listen inside.
It doesn't work for me.
If you're listening, Jesus said, trust no man.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to a man that's telling you something about your spirituality, and you're following that person, or you're following him in anything, politics, religion, you're following him, man. Jesus said, don't do it. A lot of teachers said, that's not how you find the truth of who you are. You got to go within. And that's what Jesus taught us, and other teachers. Other great teachers, is you got to go in here to find integrity. You cannot find it.
Know thyself.
It's not out there. Know thyself, man.
Yeah, you got to.
It's not there. And if you're chasing a politician or a religious leader or somebody that you're following and you just know he's right and you're going to heaven by following, you better stop it.
Yeah.
You better stop it, because Jesus said don't do that. Why are you doing it?
I don't know, man.
Why are you doing it?
I don't know.
Well, we've been fooled.
Well, and that's the thing is our whole culture is designed around controlling us.
Absolutely.
Well, and on the flip side, us giving up the control over our lives.
Because that's a big one. You got to give up control over your lives, because what you find on this journey is just by allowing it to be what has been put in front of you, turns into beautiful, beautiful things. And those things that we did the other way just didn't turn out to be what we wanted them to be. And we didn't want them anymore. Because that was our will working. That was your own will saying, this is what I want. I'm going to manifest it. Oh, look, it showed up. Oh, gosh, I can't afford the payment. Oh, no, what did I do? I didn't think about this. I don't want it anymore. That's your will doing the manifesting.
Well,
if you're receiving results like that.
And it's funny because I've listened to all the manifesting gurus and channelers and all that kind of stuff out there for years and years and years. And I love it. I love me some Abraham Hicks.
Oh, I do too.
But I will say, man, like the more you listen to that stuff, Abraham herself will even say, that all of the manifesting of the things is fine and dandy and all, but that's not the point. She's using that as a hook to get you to practice focusing your emotional state. She's getting you to practice staying within your chosen vibration. She tells you every single time you listen to Abraham Hicks, learn to follow what feels good. Learn to follow what feels healthy. If you have bad feelings going on, it's because you are listening to unhealthy thoughts.
Absolutely.
And it is by following what feels good, following your bliss, learning the difference between what's healthy and what's unhealthy, between what's like sugar and what's healthy, knowing the difference between the two, and following that still small voice that's pointing you towards that healthy feeling. The world, what your parents say, what the politicians say, it may be in complete and total disagreement, but if it feels good to you, a healthy culture, a healthy
you're smiling,
community,
your heart's happy, you feel like smiling, you feel good about what you just heard. There's nothing separating you from anybody or anything in what that feeling, what that feeling looks or feels like to you.
And that alone puts you in a space that warps the reality around you into cooperating with you in that feeling.
Absolutely.
And
that's what is then drawn to you instead of chaos.
And if you look around you right now, you're seeing a world divided between a bunch of people who have gotten their priorities straight over the course of this pandemic and are enjoying it in a lot of ways, creating new things. And then you have a whole other set of people who are being confronted with their privileges and are having an absolute meltdown. And it's interesting how it's playing out.
And here's the interesting part is those people, if they could hear this message and want to grasp it, they would change. They would no longer be caught up in having to watch that news station every single day.
And we're not talking about left or right.
No.
We're talking about you can look around you and see that it's on all sides, political spectrums, and it's not just a politics thing, it's a narcissism thing, that different parts and forms and flavors of narcissism are being challenged right now because our culture is based on narcissism. Therefore, it's crumbling.
Go ahead and admit it. You don't want to, but we all have a narcissist.
It means that I'm focused on myself. That's what ego is. You are always
and I can't be wrong either
on that ego.
And I can't be wrong.
Yeah.
It's just not impossible. I'm the center of the world. Remember, everything I do, what I believe is right. Well, because I'm going to judge you now. Everything I'm doing is right, and everything you're doing is not right unless I think it is.
And that sounds...
It's the truth!
Well, yeah, no, it is the truth. It's absolutely the truth. But it sounds like you're being overly simplistic, but that's the reality of the very basic building blocks of narcissism, right? And it may
you were taught it by your family, not on purpose. It's just, it's called generational
violence.
And that's what we are trying to dig our ways out of because a whole bunch of us are tired of living that way.
Yeah.
Because we now know what a higher vibration, a higher frequency, heaven on earth can bring through what is actually even happening right now, even in all the chaos that's out there. There are amazing things happening. Amazing things happening in the world right now.
Absolutely. Spring's coming.
And even Chief Arms, to me, it's a Chief Arms and all of our partners and collaborative partners. That's what's coming. We're going to start doing it more in our own communities and taking care of each other and loving each other. And so in our spiritual words of integrity, sustainability and accountability, as we run that through our business and businesses, run our businesses through that. Yeah. So what we're creating is a self-fulfilling, amazing prophecy, actually. That we can live in harmony, that we work together, and we can support each other with food and services and concierge and trades and teaching people how to do things so that within this community that we're all building together,
we take care of ourselves.
And
we live in a life of abundance that's not lacking in anything.
And you can't do that unless you're doing what you truly love.
Yeah.
And you do that in this organization because it allows for you to be you. It allows for you to make money doing what you're doing through a community that will help you move it out into the community. And so I'm just saying what we're doing is starting to happen in many, many places, and it's been done for millions of years, I'm sure. But now we're doing it again because it's time. I was watching a documentary on how societies poison themselves, or how the earth gets poisoned, or different things that happens when we have these big die-offs of entire populations. And basically the earth, once it feels too much poison, it just fixes it all. And so we're being fixed right now.
No, we're being shooken up.
Right.
What we've been doing is not sustainable. It hasn't been sustainable. It's not been sustainable for about 10,000 years.
Because why? It's not an integrity.
No,
it's not integrity for humanity or the planet.
No,
it's not nothing we're doing. It's made men wealthy. It's given us warmth
A few men wealthy.
It's given us some really beautiful things, but at what cost?
At what cost?
And when do we make the choice to say, I want a green environment? I want millions of jobs like Roosevelt did. Let's do it with green jobs now, like Biden. Let's jump on the bandwagon and help the man, because I think it sounds like good stuff. And I'm already doing it, so I believe it can be done.
Yeah, and we can make it to where it's done the right way rather than the political way.
With our input, because look at how many of us out there now know we need to get our gardens going, want to work with the community, want to buy from. I mean, all of our patrons are that way,
and they're starting to get scared of us now. They're starting. Oh, rich people, they're scared of us now.
What do you mean?
We're gonna.
We're
about to break Wall Street.
With the Wall Street thing there the other day. Oh, that's great. But I mean, look at what that signifies as a time when we rise up in the love of God and we just change things.
And it's happening. We're seeing that. I think right now we're seeing in a very real, very stark way that we have that ability. We have the capacity, and it doesn't even have to be a whole lot of us. Not everybody's on. I didn't buy any stocks this week, Bates. Did you buy any stocks this week?
No.
Yeah, but a bunch of kids did. And when I say a bunch of kids, I mean kids.
That's what I'm saying. If one of y'all want to invest in land and the vision that we're talking about, we're ready to build it. We got the people to do it. We just need the land, the money, the infrastructure, the land, the infrastructure. Maybe somebody's going to donate it. We have other people that want to do this, but we still need people that friends up 50 acres right up in. As you're going right past me, up past Sell Creek here.
Oh, okay.
Those guys, and they're popping up everywhere now. And, the sustainable infrastructure is it's just so crucial, because if you've ever tried to go out and do, and I have, try to do tiny home living, off-grid, camper living, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff, you know what you need to stay warm and to eat. And those are really important things when you're becoming sustainable, is that you know what it takes to survive. And we're not talking we don't want to just survive, we want to prosper, we want to do all this, but you must have that inner knowing, I can survive no matter what, pretty much. That's why I carry 3 dogs with me. Anyway, sorry.
How are they supposed to help you survive?
Well, they just keep everything away from me.
Oh, right, there is that.
It's like, there's no wild animals going to creep up on me.
No, they will not creep up on you, that's for sure.
No.
They might bum rush you, but they won't creep up on you.
Well, and if something's out there bothering the chickens, all I got to do is let the dogs out, and 3 of them scares it and it runs off. So whatever it is, it's like...
Yeah, they are loud, that's for sure.
But they're amazing, and when we come inside, look how quiet they are.
They are very quiet right now.
They're fabulous. Yeah, I give gratitude for these dogs all the time, because they bring about, for me, just so much gratitude, and I don't know, they keep me safe, and they're just full of love, like all of our pets, right? All of our animals, we love that kind of stuff, and actually they hold me in integrity too, because there's certain things I need to do to make sure they're taken care of. So that integrity word, I like it. It's for me. I started that one in about the year 2000, and it's never let up. There's always something to learn about yourself and integrity.
Well, we're always on that journey to wholeness. We'll never
not gonna
get there until we let go of this mortal coil, and let go of this body, because this body in and of itself is conditioning. It is the karmic conditioning, it's the
nth degree, to the DNA degree.
Yeah, that's literally, your DNA is the millions of years of human agreements compounded on top of themselves in a biological format. And so,
what do you think of that?
Yeah. So you got to unwind that. The last step is to let go of it, and that looks like going to see Jesus. That last time. Well, did you have anything else to say about integrity?
I think I'm good tonight. We've had a really long week, and I'm just glad we got through this, because I really had a lot of fun. Tonight,
integrity is a great word.
We've been helping people move today, and I've been moving the last months, but the last 2-3 weeks has been nothing but moving. Like go 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 to sleep, go 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 to sleep, and then go 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 to work, and then go to sleep, and it's just been crazy. So both of us were feeling. I'm like, are the things under my eyes too big to even do this tonight? Those circles, I don't know. But thank you for being with us. Thank you for allowing us an opportunity to share with you. If you made it this far into the video, I hope you find it nurturing and full of love and full of possibility, because that is truly what Chi Life Ministries is all about. Life Force Ministries. Man, that's what it means. That's why we do it. And that's why we're gathering together and doing food and all kinds of other really good stuff. And, should you wish to donate to us, everything we do is transparent, absolutely transparent. We work with dynamic governance, so no one at the top is telling anybody what to do with anything that we create. We all create it independently in circles, and you become a lead of your circle. Then somebody else comes in and helps you, and you all have co-leads, and that energy just develops. But that is truly how we are operating now, in that kind of a governance structure between all of us that are working together. So it's no more of that typical corporate top-down kind of thing, because we know it doesn't work.
No.
So feel free to, if you have land, I tell people, brothers and sisters, if you want to come and share your treasures, talents, and gifts with other people just like you that are doing big things. My name is Bates Reed, Pastor Bates, and I decided I'm going to be Pastor Bates now.
Pastor Bates.
God knows that. But my name is Bates Reed, and I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and that's all. That's all. So thank you so much. You can find us if you'd like to become a patron of Chi Farms. Really, that's one of the best ways to get started, because we feed you the food you buy at our store, and then we deliver it to you, free delivery with like 20 barter points. And all barter points is it gives us enough of a profit margin on there to actually deliver it to your house and pay people to deliver and to keep this thing running for you as a nonprofit church. We are designated as a church because that allows us to do this in the most affordable way possible for our community, which is you. So we thank you. We are looking forward to the journey. We're in the farmhouse now, so we're actually going to start growing. We got food gardens. Another lady called us right before this call tonight and said, I got this thing to make a great potato patch. Would y'all be interested? And then she gave me a bunch of ideas. I thought it was going to be too hard. And she pointed it out. Oh, she has all this experience behind her and the people to do it with the tools and the tractors. I'm like, well, that looks a whole lot. That just looks a whole lot more doable. Yeah. Because that's all the way in Bridgeport, Alabama. So if you're seeing this in Bridgeport, Alabama, please contact us, because we're going to maybe put a garden out there. And all we need is people to say, I'll come help. Yeah. But it's going to be a potato patch, so there's not a whole lot of doing to do until it's time to just planting them. We get a party to go out. Maybe 5, 6 people, 4 people, whatever. It wouldn't take that much to do it. But all day we plant the potatoes, and then at the end of the season, we come back, we pull it up with this troll kind of thing. We go out there and we have a party and we pick potatoes. And it's not hard that way. It's not like digging potatoes. So she answered all the questions. So if you're interested, we're interested. We can we'll help all of us put this together. Yeah. And, just like you're doing in downtown. Yeah, absolutely. We've got people wanting to, I've got somebody wanting to put interested in gardens like right around where the Nima Community Garden is at. Nice. And there's spring is going to be here sooner than you expect, but I don't get too impatient, because we still got strawberry, dogwood, and blackberry winters to get through. So do not get impatient. Just start seedlings right now. That's about all you need to do. And down in Red Bank, down at the church, down at we call it a couple of different things. We call it church. I think we talked about it. But also at Chi Center, the Chi Spiritual Center, we're doing a food forest there. And there's some work right now that needs to be done to get us ready to plant some things. And we're going to do a food forest. There was going to be a garden. We're going to have some foods there. But now we got other land to do food with. And we could do a little food forest there. And that would look really pretty in the middle of Red Bank. Yeah, man. So if anybody wants to volunteer any of their time, if you're into this kind of stuff, call me, 423-800-9043, Bates, Pastor Bates. And what else you got, Daniel? Oh, and please, if you get this before order day on Monday at 5, please become a patron this week with us. Let us bring you your food. You can't get it any cleaner from anywhere, I can promise you. I believe that with all my heart. Now, I'm not saying there's other people out there that don't do it as clean. I'm saying where we get our sources from is as clean as you're going to find it. And our baked goods are all scratch. So nothing store bought, y'all. It's no preservatives, none of those chemicals and stuff they put in there. That doesn't come in what we bring you. So yeah, please start working with us and help us build it because we can't build it without you. And the stronger we all become, the stronger we all become. Right on, and so it is. Thank you. We're grateful to have you with us tonight. Y'all have a good one. Good night.
Good night.